Alright, welcome back everyone for another video. So, I want to apologize. I did not get to around to doing a Bible study last week. I didn't get to do any of them, John or Genesis. Now let me give you a really quick, brief explanation as to why I didn't get it done last week. Well, Genesis 16 was not done. That's plain clear. Then when I was done on Tuesday, I didn't have any, how do you want to say it, alone time to be able to record. Okay, so everyone knows, if you guys have watched my previous videos, I do have my old man. I do have a toddler kid, which, by the way, his birthday is today. He's turning 5, so in a little bit we will go pick him up and we'll have birthday presents and cupcakes and everything for his birthday. But like I said, today, last week I didn't have anywhere to record. I do have my kid running around sometimes, and our apartment is not really big enough, and it's not set for me to have my own kind of quote-unquote studio. So for the most part, I usually record here in my room, sitting actually right here on my side of the bed. If my old man is not working that day, or he is working from home, then it's kind of hard for me to record because I don't have the quiet, the means to be able to just sit here and record. And unfortunately, if he's sitting right here, it's kind of disrespectful for me to try and record a video when he is either playing a game or trying to watch a movie or listening to music, and it makes it hard for me to actually record the video as well. So Monday, when it came around, my Genesis 16 was not done, which I spent the day doing Genesis 16. Then Tuesday came around and it was pouring out, raining, it was miserable. There was no way I could have recorded for that day. So I wasn't able to do my Bible studies last week. So instead, I spent the week trying to catch up on everything, and I got prepped and ready for this coming HelloFresh, or this coming Every Plate video. So I did my HelloFresh unboxing last week. I did a new cooking video where I actually did the editing completely different. I actually sped up some areas. I will continue trying to improve my cooking videos. Just don't be too hard on me on them, because it is a lot of editing, and it's really difficult to do that, and I'm still learning. So today is also a day that, like I said just earlier, today is Nick's birthday, so I don't have a whole lot of time to sit and go over the entire books of the chapters that I'm reading. So I'm going to do things slightly different than I normally would. Normally, my previous videos, or my previous Bible study videos, I would read the entire chapter out with you guys and explain step by step, or going through each one. I'll explain what I'm reading and show you guys my notes and what each chapter is about. And at the very end of the chapter, I'd kind of give you guys a brief overview in the entire chapter. So I am not going to go doing it that way. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a whole blank pause. Like, I'll give you like 10 seconds. Kind of just pause the video. You guys go read the chapter real quick, and then come back to this video. Because like I said, I don't have time to do like a 15-minute long video for each one, Genesis and John, to get it done. Because like I said, I got to go pick up my kid soon for his birthday. And I want to make it special, but I still want to get my Bible studies done today and get them out on time. So like I said, for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to just like kind of showing you guys something, okay? Just something from the Bible in general, and you guys just go read Genesis 16, and when you guys get done, come back to the video, and then we will go over what I've already currently read. so assuming you guys have read Genesis 16, I gave you guys a little extra time. I gave you just a full minute as I was kind of flipping through this. I do want to point out one thing real quick before I go into my notes and everything. I did find these. Okay, they're little sticky notes basically, but they're plastic, they're transparent, and they're extremely flimsy. They're not too flimsy as in like they're easy shed, but like see, they're not as stiff as the actual note cards, like not note cards, they're not as stiff as these, so like you can't really bend that very well, but I got these instead, and they work wonders. So like, see, I have them throughout my Bible already. Like there's one right there, you can see. But they work great. So I will have a link to these on Amazon if you guys want them. Obviously you can't really see that, so it's kind of hard to see. I would recommend getting like some kind of Sharpie and write on that instead, but these work wonders. Like I got little, see, these are absolutely gorgeous. I love them, and I have a lot. I got those ones, and I got more over behind me. All right, so going into the actual study, I will just give you guys a brief overview of what happened in the chapter, what kind of things I've noted, some of the things I've highlighted. All right, so this is going into Sarah and Hagar, okay, and how Sarah at this point still has not had a child. So at this point, she really is thinking that she's barren, she's not going to have a kid, and in order for her to have a kid, she wants her servant, an Egyptian servant that Abraham had picked up in Egypt. She basically telling Abraham to take my servant here, go have a kid with her, that way I might have a kid through her. So the whole entire point for that is basically a surrogate mother kind of situation. She's wanting Hagar, I think that's how you say her name, to basically have a kid, and she'd be having the kid through her. So it would be Hagar carrying the child, but it would be Sarai's child. And there is, like, right here it says that I shall obtain children by her. So that is literally saying that she's going to be doing a surrogate mother kind of situation, and she would be the mother of the child that way. But it turned out to be a whole big dealio where Hagar does get pregnant. She looks down at Sarah with contempt and views herself as being better than Sarah already because of the fact that she's not been able to get pregnant, and she was on the first try. And so Sarai, because Hagar's looking down on Sarah with complete discontent, it caused a huge problem between the two of them, and she actually blames Abraham for her getting pregnant, even though, as I pointed out right here, okay, so the fact that she was able to conceive, that, I mean, obviously it's a terrible thing that she was able to, but because she couldn't get pregnant, Abraham succeeded in getting Hagar pregnant, and this proved the failure to provide a son was Sarai's, not Abraham's, because Abraham was able to get Hagar pregnant. And it's not even so much that it was quote-unquote Sarai's fault, it was just that Sarah couldn't get pregnant at the time. It was not her time, it was not ready. Everything is done by God's plan, and just right now it was not time for her to get pregnant. So quote-unquote it was Sarai's fault, not Abraham's. But because she was able to get pregnant, Sarai lashed out at Abraham saying, hey, this is your fault. I'm blaming all of this on you because she couldn't get pregnant, and she was angry, she was hurt, because she's been wanting a kid with her own husband, and she it was not, it wasn't going through. Okay. So the other problem is, at this point, Abraham also made the situation kind of worse by turning, so instead of saying, no, I'm not going to go doing this kind of sort of thing, I'm not going to go having sex with your servant and getting her pregnant and having a kid with that way, he decided to make it worse by actually saying, hey, I'm going to go ahead and do so. But he did kind of make it better by saying, your servant is in your power, do with her as you please. So he put his relationship with Sarah first because she was his wife, but even still, he shouldn't have done this in the first place. He should not have done that at all. So he is already not taking care of the child that he fathered, and he's turning the situation over to Sarai because Sarai was Hagar's mistress. So Sarai dealt with her harshly, and Hagar fled. Okay, it doesn't exactly say how she dealt with her, just the fact that she did. And so this, I wanted to point out, it says this is the first appearance to a mother to be who had a pride problem and was mistreated by Hagar, who started all of this. So I want to point out, okay, Hagar is the one who started all of this. Okay, right here where it says she looked with contempt on her mistress. Okay, because at this point already, she's viewing herself as being better than Sarah. She's viewing herself as being, in a quote-unquote, superior because she's able to have a child. She's able to get pregnant, and she sees herself as being on a higher tier than her mistress. And I don't blame Sarah if I get upset too, because at that point, I would have got upset as well. So Hagar is starting all of this. This could have been all avoided if she had not done that. Okay, so Sarai dealt with her harshly, and she decided to run away. So she met with an angel of the Lord, which I want to point out. Here are some other couple points where angel of the Lord in the Old Testament are pointed out. So in Genesis 22, I guess we're going to see another angel of the Lord. Exodus 3, number 22, Judges 2 and 6 and 13, 2 Samuel 24, and then 1 Kings 19. All of these chapters here have all mention of angel of the Lord. This one is just the first time the angel of the Lord appeared to a mother to be. She's a pregnant woman. Okay, and what I wanted to point out is that Hagar had a pride issue. She viewed herself the fact that she was able to get pregnant, and she viewed Sarah as being abusive and mistreated her because she was pregnant, even though she's the one who started all of this right here in the very beginning. Okay, so the angel of the Lord tells her that he's going to, he tells her first, return to your mistress and submit to her, because Sarah is her mistress. Okay, she is her servant. Okay, but she says that, or the angel of the Lord says, I will still multiply your offspring, and they cannot be numbered for multitude. Okay, so basically right here at the point, he's telling her to go repent, go talk to Sarah, go apologize to her, because of the fact is that she's the one who started this in the first place. Okay, so then he named his, so he says his name is going to be Ishmael, and this is the very first time, that a child, an unborn child, is to get his name. Usually it's after they're born, but this is the first time that's when they're unborn. Now Ishmael, I want to point out, means God will hear. Okay, and this is the whole point is right here. She is pregnant, she ran away from her mistress, and the angel of the Lord appeared to her. And so that's the listing. So names have a very important meaning in the Bible, apparently. Okay, and I'm beginning to start noticing that as I'm looking at names further and further in. Okay, so so Ishmael, and it points out here, right here, it says Ishmael won't have the easiest life, but God will still look over him. He's literally telling him, hey, he shall be a wild donkey of a man, his hand against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, so he's not going to have the best life. And he shall dwell over again all his kinsmen.
Really?
So, sorry about that, my camera died, or battery died. So anyways, basically he's saying, the angel of the Lord right here is talking, okay, and the angel of the Lord is saying, hey, you're pregnant, you're going to name him Ishmael, which means God will hear. He is not going to have an easy life, but he will be protected and he will be watched over by God. And so she's kind of impressed by the fact that he knows that. So he says, you are a God of seeing, which is a name for El Roi. I don't know how to say it. So then the well was called Bir La Roi, which I find kind of funny right there. I pointed out remember when I said that names actually have some kind of meaning behind, and they're actually rather important here in, especially in the Bible in general. So how Ishmael means God will hear. You are a God of seeing. That is basically a name meaning for El Roi, which is also in the name of the well. So Hagar bore Adam a son, and Adam called his son Ishmael, which, like I said, Ishmael means God will hear. And I want to point out, okay, so like I said, I started looking into names and what the meaning behind names are. So Abram means father of many. And at this point, Abram was 86 years old, and Hagar had bore the son, or their son. So I know I'm going to mention this into the next one, but I kind of want to point out, like I said, to name-wise, I want to point out what Sarai's name means. So right here in 17, when God is actually talking to Abram about the next covenant, I don't want to go too much into it, but here I want to point out Sarai means, okay, so both names, Sarai and Sarah, both means princess. So when I get into 17, I'll probably explain this again to you guys again as well. But her name went from Sarai to Sarah. And they're both, like I said, they both mean princess. But the reason why her name got changed from with the I to the H is because there is a higher standing between the two names. So that one is basically like a princess, obviously, but this one has a little more higher standing than that version. So right now, as it currently stands in this chapter here, her name is with the I, which, like I said, means princess. Whoops. Okay, and we'll get into that. We'll get into that a little more later. All right, so overall, the whole entire point to this is the fact that Hagar had a child with Abram. Their son, his name is Ishmael, and he is going to be blessed by God, and he's going to be protected, but he's not going to have an easy life. And it just goes. It goes and leads on into chapter 17, where God and Abram have a good, deep conversation about a new covenant and what he has planned for Sarai. All right, so, hopefully, I made that as simple as I possibly can. Like I said, I'm really sorry. I didn't read the entire chapter with you guys, but I'm gonna be doing the exact same thing with John in a little bit, and next week, like I said, I promise we'll be back to normal, where I will actually read the chapter and then go over notes. So I will talk to you guys in the next video. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, leave them in the description below. And as you guys know, the usual: like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button to get notifications. I am doing regular updates and up videos and all that kind of sort of good stuff. You guys will not be disappointed if you guys subscribe to my channel and actually stay tuned with what I have planned for the upcoming future. Alright, you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.